Emmanuel Macron's Brexit-bashing of the UK has been torn apart by a leading foreign policy expert, who warned his approach has left him isolated among his European Union counterparts. The French president has been a fierce critic of the UK following the historic referendum in June 2016 that saw more than 17 million people in Britain vote in favour of leaving the EU. Mr. Macron and his government have also been heavily critical of the UK's stance in fishing negotiations, which he claims has heavily restricted French fishermen from accessing British territorial waters after Brexit. But recently the row between the English Channel neighbours exploded when Mr. Macron reportedly branded Boris Johnson a clown and a knucklehead, a move that has threatened to fuel the already bitter diplomatic row between London and Paris. The comments attributed to the French president were made privately to a small group of his advisers during a visit to Croatia the previous week, French satirical weekly Le Canard Déchaîné reported. Mr. Macron had reportedly attacked the Prime Minister for looking to make France a scapegoat for Brexit, which he claimed had been catastrophic for the UK. But Niall Gardner, a foreign policy analyst and former aide to Margaret Thatcher, has launched a blistering attack against the leading EU figurehead, warning his bash Britain approach has left him isolated in Europe as other nations begin to accept the UK's departure. He told Express.co.uk, Emmanuel Macron has become quite isolated in Europe with his approach. Germany is now rejecting that bash Britain approach and want to have a very healthy relationship. Macron is delusional if he thinks his fear factor, anti-British rhetoric is going to play well across much of the rest of Europe, and it isn't. Mr. Gardner also accused the French president of being on a vendetta against the UK, attacking the pathetic posturing from a sinking presidency that is desperately lashing out at the UK because frankly, Brexit has been a great success. But he warned creating constant conflict with the British people is a move that could backfire spectacularly on Mr. Macron, particularly as he fights to hold on to the French president with the country's elections taking place in May. The foreign policy analyst continued, even in France, the French people have had enough of it. His anti-British rhetoric doesn't play well for most French voters. Macron is on a vendetta against the UK. This is pathetic posturing from a sinking presidency that is desperately lashing out at the UK because frankly, Brexit has been a great success. That is very upsetting to Euro-federalists like Macron, as they don't want to see Britain succeed. Macron has tried to undermine Britain at every opportunity on the migrant issue. He is an extremely petty-minded individual who believes in creating constant conflict with the British people. This is a strategy that will hurt France, and the French will tire of this tedious anti-British approach. Mr. Gardner added, it won't help him at the polls as he looks like a bitter person when French voters have bigger concerns than attacking the British. He wants to appear as a big world leader, but the French people can see through that. This hate-fueled language won't help him at the polls. He looks desperate and pathetic. Mr. Macron had been quoted as claiming the UK is led by a clown and that Mr. Johnson has the attitude of a knucklehead. He reportedly said, "Bojo talks to me, he's down to earth, everything's fine." We're having grown-up discussions, and then he sticks it to us either beforehand or afterwards in an inelegant manner. It is very sad to see a great country, with which we could do so much, led by a clown. Johnson has the attitude of a knucklehead.